that is the sound of my voice. Ooh, okay, no problem. Just we're gonna get used to that real quick. We're live on YouTube, is that right? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Pixie. I'm gonna be your yoga instructor today. Thank you for being awkward with me as I get used to the microphone. They always make me feel a little bit weird. I teach a slow flow, and so we will be holding poses for probably a little bit longer than usual. And so in my classes, I encourage you to take what you want from class or leave what you don't want. So if you need to make class a little bit harder today, then you do your workout. And if you want to make it a little bit less hard, then you just take some stuff out. I support you in the decisions that you make. So let's get started laying down on our backs in a very traditional yoga fashion. Make yourself as comfy as possible in this public space. You decide how you want your legs to be. Maybe you take up a little bit of extra space. Sometimes the world tells us we need to be small, and I like to be, as big as possible. So if you feel as though you need a little receiving today, maybe place your palms upwards towards the sky. And if you want to feel a little bit grounded because your energy is a bit high like mine, maybe place those palms down on the ground. And then we're just going to take a moment to check in and to drop in for the class today. So let's identify some things that are going on around us. Take a listen. What do you hear today? Those of us here maybe hear some birds, the sound of my voice, the songs of Joey Pecoraro. Maybe if you're at home, you can hear the sound of some electrical hum or maybe the heater, cars driving by. Just acknowledge that we have to practice this yoga with or without those noises, and then just let those noises go. And now I want you to take a deep breath. Feel that belly rise giant like a balloon, and feel that belly fall flat like a pancake. Good job. Take another deep breath in. Feel it giant like a pancake. Nope. Hot air balloon. And feel it fall flat like a pancake. And then the next time you take a sniff in, identify some things that you smell. Those of us outside, obviously we smell the outside. Maybe those of us in the house smell, an unclean house. We acknowledge that the outside has to exist and that our house is needed clean, and then we just let that go. Stay right here in this moment, just me and you and 15 of our best yoga friends forever. Remember to take care of yourself during the practice. Do what you can. And smile. When you're ready, bring a little movement into your fingers. Bring a little movement into your toes. Start to wake the body up and then reach long overhead, toe tip to fingertip. And then draw those knees into the chest. Give yourself a big ol' squeeze. And do a little rocking left and right. A little left, rock a little right. Use more momentum, use less momentum than muscle movement. We're going to interlace over the right knee and extend that left leg along the mat. For wind removing, pull that right knee into the chest, and if you want, maybe take that right knee into the right elbow crease and pull that knee towards that underarm and open up that thigh just a bit. Maybe roll into the ankles. And then bring that knee back to neutral, and then we're going to cross the body in the twist. So extend that right arm out at a T, and then cross that body over to the left. And then settle in for a nice, gentle, or maybe strong twist. Even though our body is constricted, try to focus on your breath. Deep inhales in and long exhales out. Slowly unwind, bring that knee back into the chest, and then draw that left knee in to meet the right. Yes. And then again, try to move a little left and right, press that middle back into the ground, and feel as though you're trying to give yourself a back massage. All right, interlace left knee, extend that right leg long on the mat, and wind remove on the other side. Maybe roll that left ankle around. If you want, you can take that knee in the left elbow crease and then open that knee out to the underarm to give yourself a little inside hip stretch. Yeah, perfect. All right, bring that knee back to neutral. And then you're going to extend the left arm out at a T and then cross that left knee over to the right, finding the twist. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take some long inhales in and some long exhales out. And then even though your belly is constricted, try to focus on that breath. Big inhales in, long exhales out. Slowly unwind. Last time, bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself one last squeeze, one last massage. And then we're going to transition to a seated position. So you're going to either roll over to one side or the other, or you're going to rock forward and backwards and then find yourself in a nice comfy seat. Excellent. Let's drop in now that we're here again and my microphone isn't making funny noises. So let's place the bum on the ground, maybe move those cheeks around, keep those knees rooted into the ground, even if your knees don't touch like mine. Keep that core engaged, draw those shoulders down your back, sit up just another inch taller, and then maybe tuck that chin just a bit. With your hands on your knees, if your eyes are open, maybe gaze around and identify some things that you see. Surely my face. Surely the things behind me. But whatever you see around you, just acknowledge that all this stuff has to go around, and then softly close those eyes or gaze down to the ground and let all of that sight go. Back in this moment, back in your body. Take a listen to whatever it is that you hear going on around you. Whether we like or we don't, we're gonna take ourselves into one moment. We're gonna start listening one more second while we change our microphones. Give us 1 second, guys. Long exhales out, ignoring all the outside distractions like microphone changes. All right, guys, thanks for being patient with us. We're going to do our belly rolls today. So let's take our hands to our knees, and we're going to start with some seated cat-cow. So with that bum pressed into the ground, we're going to inhale the chest forward, lift the chin, stick that little bum out, and then we're going to curl and round, draw that forehead down towards the pelvis. On the next inhale, you're going to bring the chest forward, arch the back, stick the bottom out. And then curl and round, draw that chin to your chest. All right, keep moving at the pace of your own breath, guys. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you come down. And then if you're ready, or if you want to, you can start to bring in some organic movement. And that might look like moving your belly around in these big giant rolls. I like to think of myself as like a witch cauldron of sorts. Yes, good noises, but really we're just trying to wake up that spine. If you've already gone in one direction, maybe try it in the other direction. Or if you want to add in some twists or, again, any other organic movement that might feel good. Maybe the belly rolls aren't really in your repertoire. Maybe you prefer the cat-cows. You do you, y'all. I'm just here to support. All right. Once those feel complete, let's bring ourselves back to neutral, and we are going to do a couple of twists together. So we're going to take our right shoulder, and we're going to bring that down towards our ankles. So just twist to the left, bring that shoulder down towards the ankles, and inhale as you come back up. We're going to go the other side. Left shoulder towards the ankles, twist towards the right. One more inhale up and exhale to the left. Inhale up and exhale to the right. Whew. Got nervous about my words there. And come back to neutral. All right, shake out your arms if you need to. We're gonna do our shoulder rolls next. So let's draw these shoulders up towards the ears. Make it look as exaggerational and weird as possible. Yes, perfect. And then you're gonna open your shoulders up to release the chest. Draw them down the back as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then you're gonna roll them through the bottom and back up the front. Now, if you want to move your arms with this, go ahead and do so. I find the more sillier I make this, the more exaggerational I make those shoulder rolls, the more I feel it in my shoulder blades, the more I feel it in my collarbones. And so just get those shoulders worked out. Excellent. We'll go in the opposite direction now. So now we're gonna come up the back, squeeze them towards our shoulders, and then squeeze the collarbones together. Oh, there you go. Just got a crack in my collarbone. If you got one too, then we're twins. All right, keep moving. A couple of more breaths. We're all going to come back to neutral, and then we're going to do one shoulder at a time. So roll that right one up, and then roll the left one up, and then do the shimmy shake, because I think it's really fun. Excellent. All right, coming back to neutral, we're going to do a lean back and swippy swap our feet so we don't walk in circles for the rest of the day. And then we're gonna do our wrist rolls. So let's stick out our hands, stopping in the name of love with both hands. And then we're gonna roll our wrists around in circles. Now you can do them like me, 2 at a time. You can do them inward. You can do them like infinity symbols, whatever it feels good in your body. But now that we're rolling our wrists around, let's focus on the body itself. So please place that bum rooted into the ground. Focus on those knees. Keep that core slightly engaged. Keep those shoulders down the back. Keep those shoulders locked in place. And then we're just going to keep doing this for the next 17 minutes until the tops of your forearms start to get sore. We'll reach there together, I promise, guys. One more second. Right about now. All right, shake out the hands. And then we're going to stop in the name of love with the right hand, left palm to the right palm, and pull those fingers back towards your nose, feeling a stretch underneath the forearm. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Maybe stretch a little bit more. And then we're going to point our fingers down, left palm to the back of the right hand, and we're going to pull those fingers back towards our belly button.
It's well night, isn't it?
One more breath.
Look at that moon.
Long inhales in.
You're a
Long
funny
exhales
kid.
out.
Why?
All right.
I don't know.
Shake them off. Stop in the name of love with the left hand, and then left palm to right palm. That was backwards. Pull those left fingertips back towards your nose.
Different from all the West somehow. You know, you think I'm crazy.
We're not quite moving yet. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back here. Listen to what's going on.
Something happened to me inside.
Pay attention to your breath, the support of your mat, the support of this community. Slowly let go. Point those fingers down. Right palm to the left. Back of the palm. And just be present. One more breath. And slowly let go. Twinkle those fingers, shake them out, wiggle, whatever you need to do to counteract that, and we'll do one more roll. So hands on knees, and now we'll do our neck rolls. Let's bring our chin to our chest and hold here for just one moment. Maybe lift through the back of the head so that we don't dump in the front of the neck. Draw those shoulders down. And then we're going to roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe lift with that left ear so that we don't dump in the right side of the neck. Also consider lowering that left shoulder down. Rolling through the back, lift through the chin just slightly so that we don't dump in the back of the neck. And then left ear to left shoulder. And then keep rolling through the front. All the way around. Inhale as you come up the right, and exhale as you come down the left. And so different than our shoulder rolls, I do encourage you to try and isolate the movements in your neck here. Focusing all of it in this general area. If you need to spend some time on one side or the other because you got that kink from that pillow that you don't like, you could stay there. Or maybe roll through the back and wiggle out some of those crunchies. We all have crunchies. As we get older, we get more crunchies. The only thing to do to get rid of the crunchies in the back of that neck is more neck rolls. If you haven't already, go in the opposite direction. So go up the left and down the right. Again, focusing on that body, keeping that torso still. Focusing the mind, maybe listening to what's going on around you. And then once you feel complete on both sides, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to neutral, and we'll start moving. So once we're still, let's roll over the shins, find an all fours position. Stack the body up, structurally sound, so your shoulders are over top of your wrists, your hips are directly over top of your knees, and if you look back behind your knees, you can't quite see your toes, so wiggle them out towards the edges of the mat. Let's do a couple of cat-cows here. So we're gonna lower the belly, lift the chin, stick out that bottom, make it look real weird, and then push curl and round. Again, draw that forehead towards that pelvis and draw the pelvis towards the forehead. One more, lower the belly, take the back of the head towards that bum and lift that bum towards the back of the head. And then one more curl and round, coming up as high as you can with the arch in your back. And then we'll come back to neutral. All right, a quick fun balance, y'all. In an all fours position, again, make sure you're structurally sound, because sometimes when we move, our bodies move. We're gonna lift our right hand forward, and we're just gonna balance on the 3 pieces on the ground. One hand, 2 knees. Yep, that's right. Engage that core, and then lift that left leg up and back, so you're pointing forward with the right hand, pointing back with the left toes. Keep that core engaged again so that you don't dump in that belly. If you want to stay here, please do. If you're balancing, that's great. If you want to reach up and back, you're more than welcome to find an underarm stretch, a front of the thigh stretch. And if you topple a little bit, it's totally fine. It's really fun. All right, no slingshotting. Slowly let go. Point forward and backwards one more time, and then we're going to lower everything down to the ground. All right, rock your hips a little bit to reset, and then we'll find our structurally sound position again. All right, let's lift that left hand up and forward. Find the balance on those 3 limbs. Feel the extra pressure in that right hand. Yeah, and then we're gonna lift that right leg up and back. Point forward with the left fingers, point backwards with the right toes. Keep that core engaged, very important here. Stay here and balance if you want. If you wish, reach up and back and find an upward bow. Excellent. So fun. Slowly unwind, point backwards and forwards, and then lower everything down to the ground. All right, curl those toes under, and as slowly as you can, slowly bring that bottom back into a downward dog. And then start to move it out. So walk the dog, do whatever you want here, bend into the knees, bend into the other knees. Maybe look underneath the underarms. Maybe you got some other type of thing you want to do. Right now, we're just working out the spine, moving the legs, starting to wake up that body, because we'll start moving here just shortly. All right. Everybody find a nice, strong downward dog. Take your time getting there. If you're removing some items, I get you. Let's come high up on those toes. And then we're going to tiptoe all the way to the front of the mat to find a forward fold. Let's all take our feet hip distance, parallel to each other, feet. If you want to take them as wide as your mat because that's more comfortable, that's completely okay. Let's take our pinkies in our elbow creases or grab onto those elbows, and then allow your torso to just hang in a forward fold. Lean a little left and lean a little right. Maybe lean a little forwards and a little backwards, and let gravity truly do the work here. Let your face fall off. Let your eyeballs hang out. Nobody needs them. Nobody's watching. And then we're going to unbind the hands, slowly lower them down to the ground, bend those knees a bit, and then we're going to press into the feet as we slowly roll ourselves up. So slow, your vertebrae by vertebrae. And the very last thing to come up is going to be your head. Slowly. The slower you are, the more you win. You don't actually win anything in yoga, but it's fun to say. All right, guys, we've been in a couple of positions so far. Let's find a nice tall mountain pose. You decide whether you're working on your balance today. If you need a little extra balance, maybe take your feet hip distance. If you know your balance is good, maybe take those toes together. Either way, press into the ground, feel the engagement in your legs, maybe tuck that tailbone, shoulders up and down your back, tuck that chin just slightly, and then we're gonna drop in one more time. So take a listen to what's going on around you. The change in music, the birds, maybe the ceiling fan if you're in your home.
All you think of money.
I also think of you. Very often.
And then start to feel into the body. Notice the change in temperature. Notice the change in blood flow.
Not just a few hours each week.
And then we'll start with one half moon twisty twoo, and then we'll do two sun salutations. So standing with your toes together or your feet apart, let's find the nice tall mountain one more time, and then inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead. And then we'll lower the right arm, lean over to the right with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen more towards the corner of the sky or the room, and then exhale, soften just a little bit more. Press into that right foot, lift the right arm back up. And then we'll exhale, lower that left arm down, lean over to the left side with that right fingertip. Inhale to lengthen, reach closer towards that round building. And then lower. Press into the left foot, lift the right arm, left arm back up. And then we'll exhale, hinging at the hips, forward folding. We're going to place the left fingertips on the ground in front of your face, bend into the left knee, and we're going to open up that right arm to the right side for the twist. Press into that left hand to lift with the right hand, maybe taking that right hand behind your back if that feels comfortable. Notice what's happening in that right hip. It's totally normal. It's part of the stretch. And then lift that right arm back up to neutral. Exhale, forward fold. Everything comes down. And we'll do the same on the other side. Bend into the right knee. Right fingertips on the ground. Open up to the left, raising that left arm up. Maybe taking that left arm behind your back. Again, just notice that left hip. Notice the left hamstring. Raise that arm back up if you've moved it. Exhale, forward fold. Everything comes down. Press into the feet. Lift, sunbursting the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Press into the feet to reach up, and then exhale, lower everything down. Take a moment to breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. Maybe that was just my breath. It felt good. Let's do a couple of sun salutations. This first one will focus on our poses. Let's inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift. And then exhale, step that right foot back. Find the runner's lunge. And then take just a moment here to pull that chest through. And then you're going to place those palms on the ground. Step that left foot back to meet the right to find the plank. Keep that plank strong for just 1 second. Engage the core. Maybe lower that bum down just a bit. And then if you need to use your knees, totally cool. Lower your chest all the way down to the ground. Inhale for the back bend, cobra or up dog. Lower the chest. Curl the toes under. Using the knees again if you want. Bum first, back into downward dog. Find that down dog. If your mind is busy, maybe find some movement to match it. If your mind is still, maybe see if you can find some stillness to match. When you're ready, come high up on those toes, maybe high up on those right fingertips, and then draw that right foot forward to find the runner's lunge. Again, first pull that chest through, and then you're going to bring the left leg to meet the right. Inhale for the lift. Exhale for the fold. And then sunburst those arms out, up, and tall overhead. Arms raise. And then lower. Wiggle if you need to. Fix your chonies, fix your shirt, whatever you got going on. And then we're going to do our second sun salutation. This time we're going to focus on those transitions because we've already been in those poses. So when you're ready, let's inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead, reaching for the ceiling. And then slow motion, forward fold all the way down. Inhale for the lift, maybe hands on shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Step that left foot back, finding the runner's lunge. Palms to the ground, right foot back for the plank. Lower yourself through your chaturanga. Find the back bend. And then bum first back into downward dog. And then again, you decide, is your mind busy? Maybe find some movement to match. Mindful movement. If your mind is still, maybe practice that stillness. And again, just like we talked about in the beginning, if you decide that you need to remove something, you're more than welcome to take yourself a child's pose at any point in time. All right, when you're ready, come high up on those toes, maybe high up on those left fingertips, and then bring that left foot forward to find the runner's lunge. Pull the chest through. And then bring the left foot to meet the right. Inhale for the lift. Exhale for the fold. And then sunburst those arms out, up, and tall overhead, reaching for the ceiling. And then lowering everything down by the sides. Let's take one moment to just catch our breath. Find your nice tall mountain pose, whatever that looks like for you today. If you find your breath a little labored, you can take your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart and start to focus your mind on your breath, which in turn slows your heart rate. So you feel that big belly breath in, you feel that heart rate, and then on that exhale, start to notice your decrease in heart rate. This is a trick that I teach everyone. This is helpful on the mat when we do hard things, and hard things in the real world too. All right, we're gonna get started in our standing flow today. We're gonna do some flying warriors. So fun, guys. Might be a little bit difficult, but again, it should be fun, right? If we topple, we'll just giggle. Standing at the top of your mat, let's inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead, and we'll exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift. And we'll exhale, step that right foot back, finding the runner's lunge. Pull that chest through. And then we're going to transition to a warrior two. So you're going to lower that right heel to the ground, parallel to the back of the mat. And then we're going to beautifully cartwheel those arms up into your warrior two. And then we're going to stay here for just a moment. Focus on your posture. So your left knee is over top of your left ankle. Your right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. And we're opening up our hips to the side of the mat. Excellent. Stay strong. Reach out with those fingertips. We're going to reverse the warrior. So flip that left palm over and then take it up and back for reverse warrior. Keep that left knee over top of that left ankle. Stay strong. And then we're going to come back to a warrior two, and we're going to transition. This will be a little bit difficult for some of us from warrior two to warrior A. So what we're going to do, follow along or watch if you need. We're going to sweep this right arm down and then hop that right foot out and up to face the front of the mat. So my hips are going from the side of the mat to the front of the mat. Perfect. And then you're going to notice that big stretch in the front of the right hip. So fun. Whoa. See? Top leg. So fun. Let me get my bearings again. Let's all take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. All right. Now for the fun part. We're going to come high up on those back toes. We're going to lean forward at a 45-degree angle. Take those arms back. You're going to press deeply into this left foot. You're going to press up into a balance. Now, if you keep those right toes on the ground, that's super balanced. Totally. If you can feel all those muscles in the top of your left foot moving, then you're doing it right. If you're in like a full warrior three, totally cool too. All right, we're gonna bend through this left knee, sweep the right knee forward and up, raise the arms and the knee for high knee, and then exhale, lower everything down. Wiggle a little left, wiggle a little right. If that didn't work out too well, guys, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it again. All right, standing at the top of your mat, let's inhale those arms out, up and tall overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift, and then exhale, we're gonna step that left foot back, find the runner's lunge, and then we're gonna transition from the runner's lunge to the warrior two. Lower that left foot down to the ground, beautifully low yoga cartwheel those arms up, and find the warrior two. Yeah, there you go. Right knee over right ankle, left foot parallel to the back of the mat, and then focus on those hips opening up to the side of the mat. All right. We're going to reverse the warrior. Reverse the warrior. Right palm up and back. Taking a moment, just breathe. And then when we're ready, back to warrior two, and then big transition. We're gonna lower that left palm down, sweep that left foot up and out just a bit, and now we're in warrior A. Or high crescent, whichever one you want. I support you in the decisions you make. All right, feel that big stretch in the front of the left hip, right knee over top of right ankle. And then when you're ready, you're gonna come high up on those left toes, lean forward at a 45-degree angle, press deeply into this right knee, and then press up into a balance. Maybe keeping those left toes on the ground, because it doesn't matter what you look like here. If you're balancing, then you're doing it right, totally. Ugh. All right, bend through that right knee, sweep the left knee forward and up, raise the left knee for high knee with the arms, and lower everything down. All right, take a step, wiggle your stuff, long inhales in and long exhales out. We are going to do that one more time, but we're gonna move a little bit faster, so we're not gonna hold the poses for long. We've already been here, so you know where we're going. We're focusing on those transitions because we know the poses. When you're ready, inhale those arms out, up and overhead, and exhale, fold. Inhale for the lift. And then exhale, step that right foot back. Find the runner's lunge. Transition from runner's lunge to warrior two. Excellent. Once we get there, we're gonna flip that left palm over, up and back for reverse warrior. One inhale, and on the exhale, transition back to warrior two, and then we're gonna move to warrior A. So lower that right arm down, hop that right foot up and back, up and forward, and then lean forward, lifting up into a balance. Bend in through that left knee, sweep the right knee forward and up for high knee, and then exhale everything down. One more time, one more side, guys. At the top of your mat, inhale those left arms up, both arms up. Whew. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift, and then exhale, step that left foot back, find the runner's lunge, and then cartwheel those arms up for warrior two. Find those hip openers, right palm up, reverse the warrior. One inhale, and on the exhale, back to warrior two. All right, transition to warrior A. Sweep the left arm down, hop that left foot up and out. Sounds good. And then we're gonna lean forward at the 45-degree angle, launch ourselves up into the balance. And then we're gonna sweep that left knee forward, find the high knee, and then we'll lower everything down. Give yourself a smile. Give yourself a wiggle, and we'll take a rest from here. At the top of your mat, inhale the arms out, up and tall overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift, and then exhale, step the left foot back, step the right foot back, Lower the knees to the ground, take the hips to the heels, and take a rest in child's pose. And if child's pose doesn't quite work for you, find another place where you can just rest. Use all the modifications that you want here. Do you want your knees together? Do you want your knees apart? Do you want your arms raised forward, or do you want your arms by your shins? We're taking a moment here, just as we did, to slow our heart rate, to focus on the breath. Feel the belly rise, and by rise, I mean fall to the ground. And then feel that back expand. And the intention here is to really focus on that breath, because the slower we make our breath is the slower we can make our heart rate. Our breath has a direct correlation to our heart rate. So whether we're using this on the mat when we're doing exercise, or whether we're doing this in the real world when we're experiencing a crisis, either way, this is always available to you. We practice this stuff here so that we can do it in the real world. All right. When you're ready, we'll transition from your child's pose to an all fours position. And then we're going to thread the needle. I don't know where I got that idea from. Let's inhale that left arm to the side. And if you'd like, you can take that left arm all the way up, pressing into the right hand, reaching high with that left fingertip. And then you're going to take that hand underneath the left arm, take it over to the right, and then place the left shoulder and the left side of the head on the ground to feel a big old twist. If you have some modifications that you'd like to take here, feel free to do so. And just continue to focus on that breath. So we went from long breaths or short breaths based on the exercises that we're doing to sort of a twist. And so we need to take some time to breathe through the twist. If you've moved that right hand, let's bring it underneath that right shoulder again. And you're going to press into that right hand to slowly unthread the needle with your left arm. And then if you want, you can take it all the way back up. Exhale everything down. And then we'll do the other side. So we're going to take that right arm out at a T or all the way up to the ceiling. Press into the left hand to reach with the right, and then we're going to thread that needle. Take that right hand underneath the left, place that right side of the head on the ground. Taking any modifications that you might need. Excellent choices. And then when you're ready, if you've moved that left hand, bring it back underneath your shoulder. Press into the left hand to unthread the needle. Open it up to the side. And then exhale everything down. All right, we're going to come back to an all fours position. And we're going to bring our knees together. And then we're going to curl our toes under. And then you're going to sit back towards those toes. This is a pose I like to call fire toes. It probably has a very yoga-like name, but you get the idea, right? The toes are on fire. Now, I'm able, because I've been practicing fire toes for a long time, to sit back. If you can't and you need to come forward and just have them bent, that's fine too. Take all the breaks that you need. I just want to promise you guys right here that your toes will not fall off at any point in time during this practice. Just take some breaths. I hear it's good for your liver. Somebody might have made that up. I'm not entirely sure. All right, let's come forward. You're going to uncurl your toes. You can tap or you can just press the tops of your feet into the ground. And then we're going to take our bum to our heels, the hips to one side or the other, and then you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. Excellent. And we will start moving down from here, as noted earlier. All right, let's scooch up on our mat so our feet are toward the edge. When we eventually come to our back, we want to, try to stay on the mat. Let's do this. Let's take our twinkle fingers, which is what I've called them, and inhale them out and up and all overhead. And then we're going to exhale, forward fold. We're going to do 3 forward folds, and the third one we're going to stay. This time we're going to reach towards our toes, place our hands on the outside of on the mat, on the outside of our legs. Let your head hang down, and then you're going to slowly roll yourself back up to Dandasana staff pose. Once you find yourself here, we're going to do that one more time. Inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead. Press into the bottom, reach for the sky. And then hinge at the hips, reach for those toes. But we're going to do the same thing. Palms to the mat, let the head hang, and then slowly drag your hands as you roll yourself up. Super slow. Super duper slow. Was not a good one. Anyway, let's inhale those arms out, up, and tall overhead. And last time we're going to forward fold, and this time we're going to stay. Reach as far towards your toes as you can, placing your hands on your toes, maybe on your ankles, maybe on your shins, whatever feels best in your body. And then we're just going to relax here. If you can, allow your forehead to move towards your knees. If you need to, you can wiggle a little left and wiggle a little right, creating a little bit more space in your lower back. If you draw that belly button back towards your spine, not necessarily creating muscle, but just drawing that belly button back towards your spine, you might even create a little bit more space to fold forward. A couple more breaths here. Notice your heels pressing into the ground, and notice that stretch behind the calves, big behind the thighs, and then you can even feel that stretch up and over your bottom. Through the middle back, through the upper back, through the neck. And then one more time, just let everything hang. Let your forehead move as closer to your knees as possible, if that's comfortable in your body. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up, dragging those hands along the ground, finding ourselves back in a Dandasana-like position. All right, 2 more stretches here, and then we'll find ourselves on our back. Let's take the inside of the right foot towards the inside of the left thigh. Our hips are still facing the front of the mat. We're going to take these twinkle fingers down by our hips, inhale them out, up, and tall overhead, reaching for the sky, and then forward folding, grabbing towards that heel, towards the toes, towards the ankle, and then allowing yourself to relax into this for just a breath or 2. Maybe lean a little left and a little right, creating a little extra space. I kind of like to roll my ankle around in this one too. And then we're going to take our hands to the ground, press into them to help the torso come back to neutral. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take this right knee out to the right side, now facing the long edge of our mat. So my hips are much wider in this position. My right heel is in towards my pelvis. And then again, we're going to take these twinkle fingers down by our sides and inhale them out, up, and tall overhead. We're going to exhale, lean out over that left leg, reaching out towards the corner of the room with those right fingertips. You can give yourself a swish and a flick for maximum stretchioso. And then if you want, you can open your chest towards the sky, drawing that right arm back, and then drawing that chest towards the outstretched leg, maybe taking that right hand somewhere along that left arm, and then feeling a big stretch there. Maybe one open or close feels better, or maybe a combination of opening and closing feels good. You get to decide how you move your body today. All right. Let's inhale the torso back up to neutral. You're going to take this right hand, place it on the ground outside of your right hip, and then we're going to find a counter stretch by lifting the hips, pressing the hips forward, being a beautiful ballerina of sorts. Slowly lowering down. Very yoga-like. We're just going to take this right foot to meet the left leg. And then I'm going to flip around. We're going to do the other side. All right. Let's bring the inside of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Yes, there we go. And then we're going to take these twinkle fingers down by our hips. Inhale them out, up and tall overhead. And then exhale, forward fold. Reach out for those toes. Allow yourself to relax. Maybe wiggle that ankle around. Maybe lean a little left and right. You decide. Head to knee pose. Janu Sirsasana. One more breath. And then we're going to take our hands to the mat, slowly press the torso back up to neutral. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to take this left knee, we're going to open it up to the left side, and now you should be facing the long edge of your mat. But honestly, you can face whatever edge of the mat you want, as long as your hips are super wide. All right, twinkle fingers down by our hips. Inhale them out, up and tall overhead. Exhale, lean out over that right leg, reaching out to the corner of the sky with the left fingertips. Leaning out over the long, outstretched leg. Excellent. There you go. All right. Swish and flick. Maximum stretchioso. And then if you want, you can open that chest towards the sky. Draw that left arm back. And then close that outstretched arm towards the right leg. Closing the chest towards the leg. Maybe a combination of opening and closing feels best. Maybe one or the other. Your choice. All right, on your next inhale, bring the torso back to neutral, arms go out to a T. Take that left hand outside of the left hip on the ground, and then press into the hips, lifting up like a beautiful football star. I don't know. I'm trying. Lower the bottom down. Slowly and gently take that left foot to meet the right leg. And then this time, make sure that we're edged close towards the top of the mat with our feet. And then we're going to find ourselves rolling on our back. So very specific, let's take our hands out in front of us. I do prefer claw fingers. If you have a different preference, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to curl that right lip up for Elvis Zombie, that's also my preference. And then you're just gonna slowly roll yourself down. So slow you can feel each vertebrae going. You can make as much noise as you want, nobody's listening. And then you're gonna flatten that. Go ahead and lay down, similar to Shavasana. Let those arms relax by your sides. We're not quite done yet, but just feel the support of the mat, the support of the community. Let's draw those knees into the chest and give yourself a big ol' squeeze. Maybe rock a little left and a little right to give yourself a back massage, which will likely feel different since we've moved. Let's take the soles of the feet to the ground. And you're just going to gently take that right ankle on top of the left knee for figure 4. And this is pigeon on your back. And so if you feel a stretch in that right hip, then you don't have to go any further. Everybody is different. If you'd like a little bit more, maybe draw those knees into the chest and interlace behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin. Either way, let's try to keep that right knee energetically moving away from the body, not really pushing, but just moving that right knee away from the body will increase that stretch. Now, obviously, if that stretch gets too let me try that again. Obviously, if the stretch gets to be too much, don't press that right knee forward. As we slow down, our minds definitely start to wander, y'all, and that's a completely normal thing that happens. Our brains are wired to do this. They're wired to think about keeping us safe and secure at all times. And the practice of yoga brings us back to the mat and lets go of that fight, flight, freeze, fawn, etc., etc. So just stay present. If you've lifted the knees, go ahead and slowly lower the left foot back down to the ground. Very yoga-like again. Let's just take that right foot off the left knee and then windshield wiper those knees to the left and to the right. Maybe finding some organic movement that feels good. Coming back to neutral, we're just going to take that left ankle on top of that right knee for figure 4 on the other side. And then you decide, is this enough? Because if it is, just stay here. If you need a little bit more, draw those knees into the chest, interlace behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin. And then again, do what you can to stay here. I've actually snuck in some practice about being present throughout the course of this practice. That wasn't smooth, but maybe listen to what's going on around you. Immerse yourself in the music. Immerse yourself in the flight path that is Tempe. Maybe listening to the sounds in your home, the sounds of your children running around, or maybe the pitter-patter of your dog's feet. Just identify that all these things have to go on around us, and then let it go, and just be present in the moment. Slowly bring that right foot back down to the mat. Gently bring that left foot off the right knee. Do another windshield wiper to reset yourself. And then draw those knees in just one more time. Give yourself a big ol' squeeze. We'll extend our arms to a T. Extend our arms out to a T. Take those knees at the 90-degree angle. And then you're going to take those knees down and over to the left. Looking out over that right side, maybe readjusting those shoulders so that you settle into this big twist. And again, just be present, making any adjustments in your body that might feel best. Dynamic movements, just settling, holding hands.
Guess I wouldn't trade it for any place on earth.
We only have a couple more minutes here, so take everything you can from these last moments.
Somehow it doesn't mean very much.
When you're ready, inhale those knees back to center. Give yourself a rock to reset. And then take those knees back out at the 90-degree angle, and then take them down and over to the left, looking out over that right side. And then again, taking what you want, taking what you can from the moment. On an inhale, bring those knees back into your chest. Give yourself one more squeeze, finding any last movements or things that you need to finalize your practice. And And then when you're ready, taking all the time that you need to get there, not a moment before, let's find ourselves in our final Shavasana. And maybe that looks exactly like it did from the beginning, laying down on your back and finding yourself as comfy as possible. Maybe again, you want to consider taking up as much space as possible. That might look like taking your hands and your feet off the mat, which seems pretty weird at times. But just know you're safe in decisions. And sometimes we gotta be a little bit weird. Once you find yourself in the most comfortable place, I want everybody to just take a moment to really identify those senses again. Just listen, y'all. Just listen to what's going on around you. Acknowledge that it has to happen. There's nothing at all that we can do to stop it, and then just let that go. And then take a moment to feel into the breath. Feel the belly rise, giant like a balloon, and feel that belly fall flat like a pancake. Big, giant breaths. Maybe the next time you breathe in, you identify something that you smell. Just again, to keep you here in the moment.
What am I to do?
Lastly, just take note of where your body is and what your body is feeling. Maybe your emotional body, maybe your physical body. Just acknowledge that all that exists and then just let it go. And for the next couple of minutes, just allow yourself to drift off into La La Land. And I'll take care of the time for us. Without moving, slowly just bring the awareness back into your body. Remember where and how and who, why. Start to deepen the breath and feel that belly rise again, and then feel that belly fall. And then when you're ready, bring a little movement into your fingers and bring a little movement into your toes. Maybe turn that head a little left and a little right. And then when you're ready, reach those toes long, flip those arms overhead, reaching from toe tip to fingertip. And then one last time, big ol' squeeze, draw those knees into your chest. Maybe rock for the massage, maybe staying still. And then when you're ready, raise that right arm overhead, roll over to the right side, and we'll stay on our side for just one moment in this last private position. And this is where I encourage you to find the gratitude that works best in your mind, body, and soul. For the time and the space and the place we had to practice together. One more breath before we get back to life and back to reality. Using the strength of your hands, let's push the torso back up to neutral and we'll find ourselves in a seat. Y'all get to choose your yoga hands, whether they are at your heart or on your knees. I do encourage you to draw the chin to the chest, gaze down towards the ground, or softly close those eyeballs. And this is where I will extend my sincerest gratitude for each and every one of you coming out to take care of yourselves again. We have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of the rest of the world. And so I'm so grateful for you guys in this practice. Namaste. Excellent work, y'all. Oh my gosh, so slow, so steady. I am super friendly. Please come and chat with me. To those of you at home, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm here to support you in whatever your practice looks like. Okay. Deuces. Just kidding.
You wear your heart on your sleeve these days.
You know then.
Yes, I know.
Don't sit there looking at me like that.
What do you want, Emma? What will make you happy?
Oh, I can't explain.
I understand. I am old, and you're young and beautiful.
Thank you all for being here and joining us this morning. We will be here on Tuesday the 14th as well at 6 p.m. So I hope you'll come to that. And then after Tuesday the 14th, we will be back in the stadium. Again, these are free events, so I hope we all see you again. Just one more thing. If you didn't get a chance to come and check in or register, please do. We do need to capture all the registrations so that we can make this program sustainable. So thank you again. Have a great weekend.